Life is full of uncertainty. From the moment we wake up, we do not know exactly what will happen. We may have plans, expectations, and hopes, but the future remains unknown. This is the nature of life, yet uncertainty often brings fear. It makes us uncomfortable because we feel powerless. We want to know what will happen. We want to feel safe. But the truth is, life does not work that way. In Buddhism, we recognize this as impermanence. Everything changes. Nothing stays the same. The seasons change, our bodies age, and even our thoughts and emotions shift from moment to moment. This is not a mistake or a problem. It is simply how life is. But instead of accepting this truth, many people try to fight against it. They try to control everything. They try to predict the future, to hold on to what they love, and to push away what they fear. When we resist uncertainty, we create suffering. Imagine holding sand tightly in your hand. The more you squeeze, the more the sand slips through your fingers. Life is the same. The more we try to control everything, the more we feel stress, frustration, and anxiety. We worry about what might happen tomorrow. We regret what happened yesterday. But in doing so, we miss the present moment. Some people believe that if they plan everything carefully, they can avoid uncertainty. But no matter how much we plan, life always surprises us. A sudden illness, an unexpected loss, or even a change in weather can disrupt everything. This is why Buddhism teaches us to see uncertainty not as an enemy, but as a natural part of existence. Instead of fearing uncertainty, we can begin to understand it. When we truly see that everything is changing, we realize that uncertainty is not something separate from life. It is life. If everything were predictable, life would lose its beauty. Think about a river. If the water stopped moving, it would no longer be a river. It is the constant movement that gives it life. In the same way, uncertainty is what makes life dynamic and meaningful. This understanding is the first step. It does not mean we ignore our fears or pretend that uncertainty is easy. But when we stop resisting, we create space for something new. We start to see that uncertainty can also bring possibilities, not just dangers. If uncertainty is a natural part of life, why do we struggle with it so much? Why does not knowing what will happen make us anxious? To understand this, we must look at how the mind works. The human mind wants stability. It searches for patterns, trying to make sense of the world. When things go as expected, we feel safe. But when something unexpected happens, we feel stress. This reaction comes from deep within us, our survival instinct. Long ago, uncertainty could mean danger. If a person did not know where their next meal would come from, or if a predator was nearby, their life was at risk. In today's world, we do not face the same physical dangers, but our minds still react as if uncertainty is a threat. This is why we try to control things. We make plans, create routines, and set goals. These are not bad things. In fact, they help us function in daily life. But problems arise when we become too attached to certainty, when we expect life to follow a fixed path. We suffer when things do not go as planned. A job loss, a health issue, or a broken relationship can make us feel lost because we believed we had control. Buddhism teaches that this attachment to control is a form of clinging. We cling to ideas about how life should be. We create stories in our minds about who we are, what our future will look like, and how others should behave. When reality does not match these stories, we feel pain. But the truth is, these stories are just illusions. The world does not follow our expectations. It moves according to its own nature, beyond our control. Another reason we struggle with uncertainty is fear of loss. We fear losing what we love, our health, our relationships, our success. But loss is inevitable. Everything we have today will change, just as everything in the past has changed. When we resist this truth, we create unnecessary suffering. Think about the ocean. The waves rise and fall. If we try to hold on to a wave, we will only exhaust ourselves. But if we learn to move with the waves, we stay afloat. In the same way, when we stop fighting uncertainty, we can begin to flow with life rather than against it. We know that uncertainty is a natural part of life. We also understand why we struggle with it. But how do we actually learn to live with it peacefully? How can we stop fighting what we cannot control? The first step is to shift our perspective. Instead of seeing uncertainty as a problem, we can begin to see it as an opportunity. Uncertainty is not only about loss or danger, it also means possibility. When we let go of the need for complete control, we open ourselves to new experiences, new people, and new ways of thinking. Many of life's most beautiful moments happen when we least expect them. A chance meeting, an unexpected job offer, or even a sudden change in plans can bring something valuable. But embracing uncertainty does not mean doing nothing or ignoring our responsibilities. It means learning to act without attachment to specific outcomes. We can plan, work hard, and make decisions, but we must also accept that things may turn out differently than we expect. When we release our attachment to a fixed future, we reduce our stress and find more peace in the present. A helpful practice is learning to pause. When we feel anxious about the unknown, we can stop and take a breath. Instead of reacting with fear, we can simply observe our thoughts. Often, uncertainty itself is not the real problem. Our reaction to it is. We imagine worst-case scenarios, replay past mistakes, or try to predict what will happen. But in reality, the present moment is rarely as bad as our fears make it seem. Another way to embrace uncertainty is to focus on what we can control. We cannot control the future, but we can control how we respond to it. We can control our actions, our words, and our attitude. When we shift our energy from worrying about the unknown to doing what we can in the present, we regain a sense of stability. Think of a tree in the wind. If a tree is too rigid, it will break when a strong wind comes. But if the tree is flexible, it bends and moves with the wind, yet its roots remain strong. We too can learn to be flexible while staying grounded in our values. Embracing uncertainty is not about having all the answers. It is about trusting that, even in the unknown, we can still walk forward. Life will always change, but when we stop resisting, we discover a new kind of freedom. Uncertainty is not something we can eliminate from life. No matter how much we plan, no matter how carefully we prepare, life will always remain unpredictable. But this does not mean we are powerless. It means we have the opportunity to walk through life with openness instead of fear. When we accept uncertainty, we begin to see life differently. We stop wasting energy trying to control things beyond our reach. Instead, we learn to trust that even in the unknown, we can still move forward. This trust is not blind faith. It comes from experience. When we look back, we see that we have already faced many uncertainties and challenges. Some were difficult, some were unexpected, but we are still here. We have already adapted, learned, and grown in ways we never could have predicted. Living with uncertainty is not about giving up. It is about living fully in the present while remaining open to the future. When we stop demanding certainty, we create space for something new. We make room for growth, for change, and for unexpected joy. Each day, we can remind ourselves that life is like a river, always flowing, always changing. We do not need to know where every turn will take us. We simply take the next step, trusting that we will find our way. If this message has resonated with you, I truly appreciate your time and presence. Your support means a great deal, whether through a like, a comment, or subscribing to this channel. Some of you have also shared your kindness through super thanks, and I am deeply grateful for your generosity. If you wish to share your thoughts or experiences, I would love to hear them in the comments. Your insights and reflections create a space where we can all learn from each other. Thank you for being here. May you find peace, even in uncertainty, and may your path unfold in its own beautiful way.